Yo, yo, yo. Not a new watch. This is the one that Brock got me for.
Oh.
I don't remember when Brock got me this.
Mm.
We're here. We're live, and we are only 1 minute late today. Write it down. It's a new record for us.
Well, it's a new year.
It's a new year. Clay, you need to scoot this way some. You're hanging off the edge of the frame. There you go. All right. We're here. Episode 136. We're live on YouTube, and we are live on Redneck Tech Instagram. And wow, that is wide. Good Lord.
That's the thing about having only 3 fixed focal lengths is
even the one camera, the 1X.
Well, it cuts off the.
No, you can do the half and then zoom in.
That's what I'm.
Can you go in there and zoom in right now?
Yeah. Won't it
See,
degrade
look.
the quality though?
If you go wide and then zoom in,
But it's
0.6, 0.7, 0.8.
What is the 0.1? It's cutting what off?
the 1 times cuts off the edges of us. It's only
cares?
like.
I don't think it matters.
They're really gonna critique how I set up a phone for the Instagram live. It's already janky, and they're gonna be like, "Whoa, maybe if you just, squash it in a bit." So I'm gonna change it.
Okay, do that.
P.S. If you're on the Instagram live and you want to see like the good quality version, go to YouTube. It's much better there. We promise.
Way better
This
there.
is just because we can.
Because there's no way to simultaneously stream. It's complete BS.
Bullcrap.
Something like that.
Hate them. We're giving them good audio, though. You're welcome for that. Oh, I'm going to check it.
What a lag. It doesn't even show you getting up yet. There it goes. Much better.
It's already showed him. It's already fixed it on this one.
There, yep, there it is.
Huh.
I mean,
It's
we're
better.
we're top of the frame now. You could have.
It's better. Whatever. Same thing. Okay.
Well,
It's better. It's better.
you
did
want to
good.
fix Clay? If you have any more critiques, you are welcome to
Clay
get your
can't.
butt off of there, slide on all 4s, and do it yourself, Gimp.
He can't. His knee's messed up. Okay, we're going to start the podcast.
The Redneck Tech Podcast is brought to you by Mike'sArchery.com. They're a one-stop shop for virtually everything archery, bow hunting, and for your next outdoor adventure. Mike's Archery has been at the top of the archery game for over 50 years, and they want to give listeners of the Redneck Tech Podcast 10% off their entire online store using the code REDNECK10, all one word. Just put the code in before you check out, and your boys will hook you up. The guys at Mike's have always been good to us, and now they can be good to you too. Visit Mike'sArchery.com and get your gear now.
Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Yeah. You want it? Yeah. Welcome back, finally, to the Redneck Tech Podcast. And y'all were talking to me when the thing was off. What were you saying?
Oh, we just have to say hey to everybody on the Instagram live.
Hey.
We got
Go ahead.
we've got Hauser Outdoors just got out of a lecture. Isaiah Jones wants to see how we're doing. Belmore Chuck is on, hasn't said anything, highly suspicious.
He's just waiting.
And we got Bo Riggs on here, Matt Pfizer 75. We got a lot of people on here right now. We got like 10 people, so
Chuck said, first
What's
of
up?
all, check your tone. You need some bass in them headphones.
I told Chuck to behave yourself. This is a family podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We got you on the
He
how
threatened that he's going to start a podcast, which he's been threatening to do a lot of things for about, 8 years now with
Like
me.
the FS7 he ran all the
He's
time
really,
that he bought.
He's really good at threatening Belmore. Hope you
Yeah.
heard that. So
so how the airlines have the do not fly list where they got people they watch.
Yeah.
We've got it's just called the Belmore list because there's
Yeah.
only one on there and it's Belmore.
Exactly.
So we're watching you, Belmore. Everybody else, you're cool. You guys don't have to behave, but Belmore does.
So for those of you tuned in or listening to the podcast, we try and, if you stay up with the social media, we try and post when we're going to do these because we try and plan them a little bit in the office. You can watch these live and watch us on video if you want to see our gorgeous faces on Instagram, on Redneck Tech, or on YouTube. The YouTube stream looks way better. And if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, it will give you a notification when we're going live. So
And you can watch after the fact on the YouTube channel.
yeah, and we'll sometimes we'll hang around, answer some questions, BS with some of our buddies. So it's a good time. So anyway, so for this podcast, really 2021's finally over. I never thought deer season was going to end on my end of things. I'm to be honest, I was just over deer hunting altogether. Not because I hated or was tired of it. Well, I was tired of it. That's why I was over it. And we are doing the deer show with Lee and Tiffany now, so there's a lot of deer hunting. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of it's a never ending season, it seems like, and its season's not that long, but I mean, we did 250 something days in the field between 5 guys this year, so it was a lot. And it was one of those things to where we all put in a bunch of time. Clay probably ended up putting in the most amount of days there, and has the least amount of kills to show for it.
I have 2 kills. No, I have 3 kills. So everything I did in the fall was with Lee and Tiff, except 4 days with Billy. And
you only did 4 days with Billy other than Lee?
Yeah, just in Florida, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was with Billy for 4 days, and we killed 3 animals, 2 pigs and a deer.
Yeah.
I was with Lee and Tiffany for 91. I filmed 3 kills, and Ryer was there for 2 of them.
Oh, that's funny.
Y'all can't deny that I bring a certain kind of mojo when I show up to the scene.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call it.
So
the results speak for themselves, do they not? I don't have to say any more.
It was a crazy season. Got to add a couple more places to the list and to the resume, and the
resume.
Let's put it in perspective this way: if you watch a Lee and Tiff show, probably 90% of the footage will be mine. If it's Lee hunting, except for the kill.
And the good footage?
Everything except segment 4 in every single one of Lee's episodes will be mine, except segment 4, where they kill.
the segment that everybody's tuning in to watch.
Exactly.
The one that everybody's fast-forwarded their DVR to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my wife keeps up with how many days that I do now, not me. I did right at 150-something days in 2021. I don't know how many, if y'all kept up with it.
I didn't.
I didn't keep up. I mean, if it went from my wife, I wouldn't keep up with it either. How many did you do?
Well, I did 96 just in the fall. So I don't know how many I did.
I think I did 97 then.
God almighty. Y'all are like
the
children.
fact that Chuck Belmore just now followed me for the first time.
Did he just now?
Yeah.
Chuck. Come on, man. Like,
well, I had a Chuck Belmore following me, but not a Belmore Chuck.
Yeah, that's not the sign. Yeah, somebody stole Chuck Belmore and thought that the real Chuck Belmore was going to pay for that username.
No,
they didn't know who they were. Yeah, I remember asking him, I'm like, "Why is your Instagram Belmore Chuck and not Chuck Belmore?" He said, well, "Some idiot bought Chuck Belmore thinking that my poor butt was going to pay for it.
Chuck's rich.
They would be wrong." Yeah, Chuck.
For as much as he works, he's rich.
Yeah, don't let him lie to you. Yeah, we've had that conversation too. But yeah, it was we kind of did a fall recap last podcast, which was, I don't know, weeks ago. And now that deer season's over with, the plan is for us to do a lot more podcasts, to stay on top of it with content, with classes, with other things. We'll talk about classes in a minute. But what we've kind of been working on the last couple of days is some processes. And I kind of wanted Ryer to talk about, kind of where we're at with that. Because what we're trying to do kind of as a company and as a content creators is we're trying to improve every day, like, you guys should be. We've got a lot of moving parts, and when you do video production, there's not just shoot the video, edit the video, submit the video. There's so many more little pieces to it that not necessarily things fall through the cracks, but it's hard to keep track of things. And my brain and Clay's brain work way different than Ryer's brain. So we've been trying to figure out a way to create a process. And if anybody listening or watching has a suggestion for this, please let us know, because we're trying to figure out the best way to do it
without us having to use another program.
Yeah, without us either having to use another program or make it. We've looked into some Trello and Monday.com and some things like that for like processes and scheduling and things like that, but they're more than we need, and it ends up being, I don't know what you said, like it gets
for us, for a team of 3 they all have tiers, and it ends up to really take full advantage of the program with automations and multiple workspaces and flexibility between workspaces and stuff like that, you end up usually paying about $10 a seat for most of these programs. So for us, that ends up being $30, which, adds up over the course of 12 months. And then, say that we needed other people to be able to use it. Well, now it could be $40, $50, $60, $70 once you start scaling it up. And for a lot of functionality that maybe we don't necessarily need yet, and probably, over-engineering to begin with when probably what we need to do.
We just essentially don't want it to become something that's so big and fat and bloated that we decide not to look at it because it's overwhelming. We want it to be simple, but we want it to be intuitive and useful that we'll actually use it. So if you have suggestions, right now we're kind of down to Ryer's creating a Excel spreadsheet that we can kind of break up by client, by project, by things like that. So that's kind of where we're at. But what I wanted to talk about is what do you think we did well, and then what do you think we need to improve on? Let's start with what do you think we did well last year? I can hear you breathing like crazy, Clay.
Stop it. Stop breathing.
So I'll start with you, Ryer. What do you think we did?
You're the boss.
I've got my opinions. I want to hear what y'all think we did well, and what do you think we should improve on?
Everything I did.
God dang. All right.
How far back are we taking this? Are we taking this back to
2021?
The start of 2021?
Yeah. What do you think we did well first? And then we'll come back around and do what do you think we can improve on?
Can we start with Clay? I need some time to ponder and contemplate.
I have these notes that I share with you guys. Do you not read the notes?
I've been working on the thing we were just talking
note
about
when the podcast started.
Yeah, I just was
but I do
on
have
the
an
thing.
answer. I do have an
Okay,
answer.
go ahead.
I think our communication as a team was really well, like knowing where we were going, what we were doing, when we'd be back. I mean, it's not like we ghosted. And
Yeah, well, that's unacceptable. We don't ghost. I think I'm kind of thinking like bigger picture. Like, well, what do you think? And I don't really have a great answer other than the fact that I think we learned a lot, in terms of long trips. We don't need to try and do, we went into Lee and Tiffany thinking that we were going to be able to schedule a little bit better than we did. And this year, Clay took the brunt of the long trips. And I think we've got to figure out a way to schedule better, which I guess I'm doing what we need to improve on.
Well, and during the whitetail season, that's easy.
Yeah.
The Western Tour, I mean, you might as well just ride out the Western Tour.
Yeah.
Because you got to have your own vehicle.
Well, it's always been that way.
Yeah, because you got to have your own vehicle because, I mean, I love Lee and Tiffany to death, but I can't ride in that Earth Roamer with them and film them every day.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. So I got to have my own vehicle. And if I'm going to drive, the first 2 weeks of the season are going to be in Utah. Well, I've already driven halfway across the country. I might as well hunt my way back with them. So, I mean, the whitetail season's a lot easier to schedule than it is when they go 8 different places in 2 months.
I'm thinking like we've got to figure out how to take care of ourselves and our time while also keeping clients happy too.
Right.
I think what we did do well was I think we shot it really well. And Nate concurred today when I talked to him on the phone. I think the show was shot well. I think we covered things that hadn't been covered in the past as good as we could. Like, we didn't get to do as much in the spring and summer, which we weren't there in the spring. We didn't have the show until really July. So, we'll get to do more in the summer this year. But I think the show was shot well with the exception of, obviously, BC because that was a cluster. But for the most part, we did a good job shooting it. And, I talked to Nate about, like, what has he heard, good, bad, and indifferent? And he's like, man, no news is good news. He's like, they haven't said anything, and they haven't said anything to me every time I talk to them about, how's everything going. They said great. So, that's what I have to go on, and I think it went as well as it could. I mean, August was rocky, but it was the first go at it, and I think I think more than anything, since Clay's kind of being the project runner for this one, I guess, what do you think you can improve on this year going into it?
I don't know. I guess I didn't take the full initiative on being Lee's, like, not in his ear, but being the person that he went to for issues or people coming in and stuff, where he was like still contacting you. I mean, because that could be a thing that Lee just sees you as the boss and comes to you. But the whole premise of it was, I'm gonna be Lee's the guy, and he would still like text you and stuff about who needs to be where instead of me being there.
Well, kind of how I viewed it, and maybe I didn't communicate well, and maybe I didn't do a good job of communication, is essentially I wanted you to take the lead on the project. Like, who's there, who needs to be where, who's been there too long, who's not been there enough. And then essentially I defer to you for everything. And then when there is a problem that you can't solve, I get the call.
Right.
Or there's a problem that you and Lee can't work out or figure out, or this, that, and the other personnel issue that you can't schedule or whatever, then you call me, and then I, kind of take off. Because
I guess we really didn't have that issue because
we didn't.
I was there all the time, and the 2 times that I wasn't there, you were there. You were there when Tiff killed and when Thomas was there, and then you were there in Illinois just now when I wasn't there. The only other time that someone different was there was Cody there by himself, and he rode up with them and rode back.
Yeah, that was a short South Dakota trip.
Yeah, so other than the 2 times that you were there without me, I mean, if I'm not there, you were there, so it's not like there was a giant issue.
That's something I think we did well too. Is obviously us 3 couldn't do all the shooting, and I think with Cody and with Thomas, we really have a really well-rounded team that can do it all: shoot, edit, photos, all the above. And now with Nate editing it, it's going to be as good or better than any of the seasons past. I truly believe. We've got some really good stories. I think there's 19 kills throughout the year. That's a lot. That's 19 kills since August.
22.
Well, that's counting like goose and stuff. I'm counting like deer kills, like big game kills. 19 big game kills in August to January. I mean, that's a lot. That now get cut up into 15 episodes, 2 that'll happen in Q2, and then 13 in Q3 and 4.
Yeah, it's a lot better than having 15 kills with 15 episodes.
Yeah, but it's gonna be it'll be a good one. I mean, they kill some. It's Lee and Tiffany. They kill some big deer, but
I wouldn't know.
So if you still watch television, or they have a YouTube series too. If all these kills that we've gotten so far, pretty much, have already aired on their YouTube channel. So if you haven't watched that, check it out. But what do you see as something we can improve on? And I'm not just talking about Lee and Tiffany. I'm talking about company as a whole too.
I think that a lot of my stuff goes back to more of the editing season, and I think that it goes back to kind of the workflow and some of the lessons that we learned doing Hunt Masters, and I think a lot of that kind of has to do with what you were talking about earlier. I think there's some tightening up we can do as far as organization, systemization, and standardization across the company. And then obviously, once we kind of get some of those pillars in place, then when we have people come in to do different stuff for us, or subcontractors or freelancers, then we have kind of a set way of doing things, or a set way of handling that, so that we get a more consistent product throughout the entire process, right? From the shooting in the field to the editing to delivery. And then I think that personally there's a lot of little things in the editing room that I would like to polish. I think that last year trying to color correct and color grade LUT footage was a big stumbling block for me personally. And I know that we probably, there's a lot of things that maybe we could have done differently and avoided that. But I feel like personally I would like to become more proficient at that. So if we have a project that, we could take advantage of the more robust color space of a I said LUT, I meant log. But,
You said log.
I said log?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If we have a project where taking advantage of a more complex color space like log would be worthwhile, that I would have the skills to be able to make it look nice and make it look as good as it should be able to look. I think maybe polishing some audio stuff. Like, I'm really trying to just advance more into some more like technical polishing with the edits personally. So I think that as far as improving company-wise, I think that maybe some organization, some structure, some systems will help a lot. And then personally, kind of the same things for me, but also trying to be better at color grading, maybe be a little bit more robust at sound designing, stuff like that. As far as what we did good, I mean, I think we knock it out of the park with images all the time. I think that that's something that we've always done really good at, as far as delivering a large amount of pictures, but high quality pictures.
I wish we'd have kept up how many finished images we did this year. It was a bunch.
Yeah, I think that that's something that we've always been really good at, and we continue to be really good at, just delivering a lot of sponsored deliverables for clients, making sure that we get them a robust library of imagery, and having it always be really quality. I mean, when you look at a gallery that we've put together, any of us, it doesn't look like we just threw up the camera and shot a bunch of stuff and handed it off. It definitely looks like there's time and effort and care and thought put behind those galleries.
Yeah.
And artistry, which I think is important, especially when you're making things at such a speed and mass quantity. So I think we did really good at that. I think we did this year. I think we all did really well on the road. I mean, it kind of felt like once we had our places to be, we were there, and we got there and did what was needed to be done, and came back, and it wasn't like, people weren't forgetting stuff. People weren't having issues out in the field. It was really very smooth on the part of just making things happen on the road.
Oh, there was a couple issues.
Well, there was, but there's always going to be a couple issues.
Yeah.
But I just think overall, especially with like as many moving parts as we've got, as many people as we've got going different places, it seemed like it went pretty much as smoothly as you could hope that it would go.
Yeah, I mean, we never had a no-show or a date
knock
fall
on
through
wood, I've
or
never had a no-show.
something like that.
Yeah,
So.
what I would do if that happened, I would freaking lose it on somebody.
Yeah, like we had some travel issues like we had for BC, but we showed up. We
It's just Canada.
just
God,
couldn't
I
get
hate
in,
Canada
yeah.
so much.
right.
Canada, anybody in Canada, get your crap together. Like, seriously, this is terrible.
Or
terrible.
just make it harder to where we just don't ever have to go back.
Well, I don't
make
know. I really like filming and hunting in Canada, but it's just such a pain in the butt to get in there. Anyway, hold on. What is Belmar's? I think you guys showed a lot of diversity. You can come and film us, Billy, Brian. Yeah, well, I mean, what Chuck just posted on Instagram is we filmed virtually 3 totally different projects this year with Greg at the beginning of the year, which we're not doing Greg anymore, Lee and Tiffany, and then Spy Point with Brian and Billy. And they're 3 completely different looks and feels, and I thought we did all of them well. I mean, we did them as well as they could be done, and that's kind of the staple I put on what I consider a good production is, there's some productions out there that they can create really cool stuff, but they all kind of look the same and feel the same. And they're really good at, certain kinds of edits. But then if you ask them to do something slow, fast, or medium, or documentary versus montage versus they can't do, anything outside their box. And I think we do a really good job of being able to create content that's not all inside the same box. Now, we have things that like we like doing. Like I like really fast-paced, music-driven edits. That's kind of my, lots of dialogue and cuts, and you got to really pay attention and watch and keep up with it. But that's not all we did. That's not all we do. It might be my style, but Ryer style is different than Clay's style. That's different than the next guy. So I think we do a really good job of creating the box and staying inside the box that the client asks us to. And that's hard sometimes, especially as creatives, to have to work inside a box that's not your sweet spot. I've had to do that more and more, like I've said on the podcast, like Dudley's stuff. It's very YouTube vlog style. That is not my style. But that's how he wants the show in his episodes. So that's how I do them. But it's hard for me sometimes, and the only reason I do it is because I really like working with Dudley. If I didn't like Dudley, I wouldn't do it anymore. But I don't know. I mean, that's really tough to do. I look back on this year. We did that huge hunt stand project. We did all of Spy Point, filmed all of Lee and Tiffany. We filmed some for Greg. We did
the stuff, the turkey hunt and the moose hunt.
Turkey hunt and the moose hunt for Iron Valley. I did a couple trips with Chuck. I did three trips with Chuck. What else?
All of the Huntmasters edits were this
all the
year.
Huntmasters edits.
I did that all dad hunt with Blake.
Yeah.
That was this time last year.
And then, well, I guess that's technically 2022, but
we did the art thing with Clayton.
Did the art thing with Clayton, and then we've
everything with Brock.
Everything with Brock, yeah.
Yeah, we've done.
And all my hunts with Dudley. Yeah, all my hunts with Dudley stuff with Rolly White. We did a lot this year, like in number and like pieces of content. I don't even know.
You did you did a bunch of release and school knock videos with Dudley in February this time last year too, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
It was me. That was the year before last.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we're about to do all those again. So the diversity in what we're doing is everything from 30-second, quick. And we did the outrigger outdoor stuff. We did a bunch of stuff this year, in all different facets, from long to short to quick to slow to.
You did the fly fishing thing.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's more that we're forgetting, but it's been one of those years that it doesn't seem like it's been a year, since we got started on Lee and Tiffany. Or it's not really been a year, but a full season's went by, and it's flown by. It's been it's like long days and short months is how I view it. And going into 2022, we've got some, like, that's kind of the next thing I wanted to talk about anyway. Like, we've got some stuff that we want to do this year now that we don't have such an editing load in the spring and summer. We've got some product stuff we want to do. We've got a series that we're trying to spin up that I don't know if I want to let that cat out of the bag just yet, because I don't know if we're going to get to do it. And then we've got stuff with Lee and Tiff this spring, got stuff with Dudley this spring. It's going to be another banger, but we also have the bandwidth to where if another cool project came along, we could do it too. I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm excited about hopefully the pace, and I'm more excited about the time that we're going to get to spend on Copeland Creative and Redneck Tech in the spring and summer, and I'm hoping for, stuff that we've been talking about wanting to do. And we've got a film that we're going to finish. I don't know if we're going to put it in Badlands. I'm not going to talk about Badlands until we put a film in Badlands. I really want to talk about Badlands.
Did you go this year?
Yes, I did.
Was it?
I'm not going to talk about it. But it was
That was a thumbs down for those of you listening to the audio.
There was one film that I still don't consider it a film that I considered excellent.
It was shot and edited well. It just wasn't a film.
The production was good. It wasn't over the top crazy good. It was good. But what made it good was the kid that was the subject was awesome. I thought he was like 14. The kid was 12. I looked it back up. I want to get him or whoever produced it on the podcast. But it was a heartfelt story, but he had a line in there that just freaking hit hard, man. That was really good. And his emotion and the way he carried himself on camera, it was just head and shoulders better than any of the rest of them. And the rest of them, there was a lot of the same, but then there was a couple that had some dialogue and stuff like that. But, the freaking one that won,
The kid.
I'm just going to stop talking. No, it wasn't the kid. The kid did not win. He should have.
Really?
But we're going to do a film. Whether it makes it in Badlands or not, I don't know. We'll see. It's not going to be about the kill. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. We'll do a whole podcast about it once it's done.
Next.
Sometimes I just like to sit here quietly
I know.
and see
I
how
can
far.
feel you. I can feel you saying, "Just go, just do it, just do it, just talk about it."
No,
let the hate out.
No, I
He
don't.
eggs you on without saying anything.
Yeah, he
just
does.
Looks
He
and
just-
looks
he
and
just-
looks and looks and looks.
Oh man.
Hey, look, I'm a good producer, and I know exactly how to get what I want. And I just think it's funny because this is Caleb. I'm not going to talk about the film festival. Also, Caleb proceeds to talk about the film festival.
I didn't talk about it very much.
Chuck said Venmo me 5 bones for that great talking point.
I said 250 is the best you can do. So you might owe Chuck half of a
I
fry.
always owe Chuck something. What I owe him, what he owes me is some time.
Him
What
and Colin are teaming up.
No, what
here.
I need to owe him is he owes me a bunch of time. Because all I'm doing is waiting on him. Steadily waiting on him. What are they saying?
Turn it loose on bad.
No, I can't do it,
Badlands.
Brody.
42 Pros. Feature films are fun to create.
Ugh.
Have you created some of them?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah?
He did one, Badlands 2 years ago.
Okay.
I think so. Wasn't it 2 years ago?
It would have been 3 because they didn't
No,
do.
it was 2020. Because it was in
Oh,
it
so
was
that
in
would've been- that
January.
would've been the year we
I'm
went.
pretty sure that's when he did ones 2 years ago. But yeah, I just want to see a real film. I want to see a film. I don't want to see a hunting video. I want to see a film. But hasn't been done yet. But I did get some insight. Can't talk about that. Can't talk about it on here. Sorry. I got some insider information, but I can't talk about it.
Oh.
I'll talk about it to y'all, but not on the podcast.
So you had this insider information since
think
you
I've
came
already
back
told
from
y'all this.
ATA, and
I've-
you haven't told us?
Okay, remind me
yeah, I
the
don't know.
Badlands insider
I'm
information.
very privy
Okay.
to insider
Yeah.
information. And,
I'll talk to you about it.
I don't have that up in my head.
I'll talk to you about it.
I got a lot of secrets up there, but not that one.
So yes, 2 years ago, 2020. So yeah, that's what I thought. They did an elk film, and it was shot extremely well. What was now I've lost my train of thought. You've
So
completely
is there
screwed me up.
42 of them? What's the 42 pros? So
I
one of
don't
my
know.
favorite things to do is figure out where people get their usernames from if it's not like their name. I'm lame.
It's productions. I think that pro stands
Is it
for
42
productions.
Productions?
Pretty sure.
I want to know where the 42 comes from.
Well, I'm sure he'll answer you
I
in
know.
a second.
That's why I'm airing that out there.
Okay, so kind of talked about the plans coming up for this year. Don't want to get into that too much. Kind of want to save that.
I mean, can we talk about that? We're also, this is for us to keep us a little bit accountable, but we're gonna try to ramp up a lot more production for Redneck Tech.
Yeah, we are.
Really trying to get more info out to you guys.
Did that die?
Yeah.
I'm going to beat my kids. Sorry. I literally just put new batteries in that. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to beat them. Because they come up here and they turn them on. They leave them on. Oh. If you're watching the live stream, you know what we're talking about. Anyway.
So last year, we just had so much going on that we didn't really have a chance to do as much with Redneck Tech as we had done in the past and would like to do. And this year, we would really like to do a lot more.
Yeah.
For you guys, with you guys, posting-wise. We're trying to get a TikTok going, so,
Because
follow us on
nowadays you have to
TikTok.
have a YouTube, a TikTok, an Instagram, a Facebook, of this and that and the other. So,
We need
We're
we
trying.
need a Pinterest.
no. Lake
no.
Pickle just joined. What's up, Lake?
Also no Facebook. I've
Yeah,
left that one
Well,
behind.
I found out Facebook is very viable for, like, older. you got to be able. I know you're just giving me a blank stare.
Hence why I don't care.
Gosh.
I hope
nobody on here is older. Sorry, Chuck.
Well, the only reason I keep Facebook.
I can't wait to hear what he says.
Only reason I keep Facebook is because I use it to log into random stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Other than that, it's on my phone.
Marketplace. That's the only reason I have it.
See, I don't even go on there. I'd rather just go on.
Dude, there's some great deals on Marketplace.
So I got my boat.
Oh yeah, Clay's got a boat now.
Yeah. So if you need fishing
No
content,
couch.
No couch.
But he's got a boat.
No couch.
No
hey,
couch.
I was
no
going to
TV.
ask you that. Here's what. This is serious.
I don't know if I can make this joke on here.
You can't.
Well,
if you have to ask that question,
no.
you can't.
Here's the thing: the people who know the joke know. If you're too young for this joke to be inappropriate to you, you won't know what I'm talking about. You could put a couch on your boat and call it the casting couch.
Ryer. So no,
You've been yellow carded, sir.
So this is my question. How committed are you to working for Copeland Creative?
Are you gonna fire me if I don't get a couch?
No, because you know what that tells me? You're just ready to leave at any moment. You don't have a couch. You don't have a house set up. You're just ready to leave.
He doesn't have an anchor.
Or be fired at any moment. Is he just waiting to be fired? He's like, well, I got a bed and one bag. I'm out of here.
I mean,
who doesn't have a couch? You have an entire apartment.
I don't even have a TV. What am I gonna sit on the couch?
Exactly.
See, here's the problem. Here's the problem. The couch and the TV are like bulk purchases because you're not going to buy a TV and then have nowhere to sit.
There's literally a TV sitting behind you that we're not using.
It's not a bulk purchase. A bulk purchase would be purchasing a lot of something at a discounted price.
And I guarantee we can find you a couch.
We've offered to give him a couch.
I don't have Netflix and YouTube, or Netflix and Hulu. So what am I going to watch on TV?
I have also both of those things.
$15 a month.
I'm good. I'm really good.
It sounds like I need a loan. Sounds like he's saving every dollar he has. Golly, dude, you're just.
Hey, can you write off a couch and a TV? No, you can't.
I write off my Netflix. I do
research.
Yeah, it's research. It's market research.
Anyway, back on track. Okay, so we are going to do a reel. We are very behind on that. I'm sorry.
That's a pretty cool name. I'm not gonna lie. Why he calls it 42 Pros?
Can we say that?
Yeah. So the reason that 42 Pros is called 42 Pros, short version, is I started filming/editing while still a full-time cop. Off-duty 10 code is 10-42, and I produce during off-duty hours.
Oh, nice.
So 42 Pros.
That's pretty cool.
I like it.
So anyway, we're gonna do a reel. We kind of have an idea for that reel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We had like 3 or 4 ideas. I didn't know we chose one.
Well,
I also didn't know.
All right, I'm terrible. I'm not a good communicator, apparently. So, yes, we have an idea that I like for the reel that we're going to try and do. We just got to start pulling footage and do it. We usually try and have the reel done around the 1st of January. Obviously, we missed that deadline. So, when we get that done, hopefully in the next month or so, we'll have it out. But sooner than later. I'll talk to you about the idea. It's not complicated, but
I know we had a
chronological idea.
I know we had a note sheet, and you asked for ideas. Did you get my idea on there?
I don't remember.
Oh, it was cool shots.
I'm excited to actually do the
See,
reel.
guys, this is what I deal with every day.
I'm excited to do the reel because, like, 60% of what we shot, I was almost there for, so I can almost.
Hey, guess what? You can work on the reel this year since I've done it the last 2 years.
Whoa, no.
Well, you want to do the reel?
No, I did a lot of the reel last year.
Okay, you did a lot.
If I could get up and storm out of here, I would.
So it's right. So okay, it's only fair that it's Ryer's turn.
It'll never get done if it's Ryer's turn.
This is also true.
I have a lot on my plate. I'm making systems.
Ryer, how long should that really take?
Do you want it good?
Well, it's Ryer.
Do you want it good?
Dude, I got all kind of references.
I'm glad we're not teaching English to people. Do you want it good?
I'm sorry. You guys always give me a really hard time about using superfluous vocabulary.
Oh God.
So now I'm trying to dumb it down a little bit so I don't catch flack. And you're like, oh, you're stupid.
Something else we want to talk about is we've got 2 new pieces of tech. We've talked about one of them a little bit, but if you're watching Instagram Live, you're hearing sweet, sweet audio through this little guy. The Rode VidMic Pro Wireless Go 2.
Don't we have questions too?
Yes, we do. That's
Okay.
next.
All right.
Stay with me. So this is the Rode Wireless Go 2. We're routing that audio through here, through the phone. That's why you're getting nice, cool, clean audio. There's a little case for it, and it has 2 channels. You can run 2 channels, so 2 people at the same time, and then 1 little receiver, and they're tiny. I mean, you see how little that little guy is.
Chuck would like those.
Yeah, Chuck would like those. Chuck won't get these though. He will not.
Just like he never got the red.
Have Clay
Exactly.
show it so that they could see what it would look like in small hands.
So
The only reason I say that because I had to go use his computer today, and his mouse is like this big, and I'm sitting there like trying to figure out how to use his mouse.
And I palmed the whole thing.
And I was like, "How are you using this, dude?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just regular size for my
that's
hand."
why he doesn't want to use the Magic Mouse. It'd be like holding his phone to
I
him.
know.
He'd have to go.
That's 100% correct. I'm like this. It's like, you ever seen a guy with target panic and his trigger's like on his index? It's like way out on his index finger. That's
Yeah.
what I'm like,
Oh my god.
yeah, it's bad.
So anyway, I love these microphones. I'm the only one that's got them. I offered them to Ryer. He doesn't want them. He wants to stay with his Sonys. And we're going to get Clay some, but I don't know if I'm going to go with the Rhodes, but DJI is coming out with some too. And I really like DJI stuff. They do some really, really good stuff.
Do
And
those look and sound like they're better than that? Do they have features that
he
are
did,
better?
They do have features that are better.
What?
It comes with all the adapters to be able to run it straight to your phone, which you have to buy separately for those.
Oh yeah, that was it took us 2 weeks to get all
Yep.
this stuff.
And then it comes with magnetic mounts, which you have to buy separately for those. It has a little bit better battery runtime, and it comes with a charging case that you can charge it 1.8 times. That does not.
1.8.
Yeah.
I love how they got
Yeah.
that.
They're like,
Yeah.
we just can't do that extra 20%.
So it's literally, but it all comes in, it's only $20 more than if you buy those for all those other things.
Yeah.
And they're they're smaller, but not much smaller.
And are they a cold shoe mount sort of dealio?
Yeah.
See, what I would like for somebody to figure out how to do.
But they're made for DSLRs. They're not made for big cameras.
Yeah, I know. The thing that I would like is another way to mount a receiver other than a shoe.
Like how?
I don't know. But
You can
some
always
kind of
get a
mounting
belt. You
point.
can always get a belt clip for it. I just clipped it on the strap that goes on the.
Yeah.
That's what I did on the FS5.
Or you can Velcro it. I used to Velcro mine to my 300,
Yeah,
EX300,
I know you use the
or
Velcro things.
EX3.
I've never liked those.
Well, what other way is there?
I don't know, like another post or something.
Well, you won't use the little thing that was on his FS7 and what's on my FX6.
Yeah, it gets in the way of my hand when I'm running the camera.
He's unpleasable.
It's like
He's
a woman. He's like a
unpleasable.
woman.
He is. So, okay, moving on. So we got the microphones. I love the microphones. They're tiny. They don't last all day. They'll last about 4
Ooh.
hours.
42 Pro said those could be used as a wireless boom mic setup.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah, and they record internally, which I did not know until recently.
The DJIs?
And those.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
how do you use those as a wireless boom mic?
You just run attach it to a boom mic and
Record it internally.
record it internally, or you can
Is
run it back
is
through your thing.
super directional?
Yeah, well, it's got so you can that's a microphone there until you
Yeah.
plug something in.
So you could plug in. Is there any boom mics with a 3.5 millimeter jack?
I don't know.
You could XLR to 3.5.
Yeah. So I mean, it'd probably take some finagling, but yeah, you can do it. And then the other piece of tech, I don't have it on hand, but we just ordered just got the Mavic 3 drone. Like it a lot. The image quality, and this is just me spitting numbers out of my butt, so don't hold me to these, but we have the Mavic 1, the Mavic 2, now the Mavic 3. The Mavic 2 is the one we've had forever, and I loved that drone. The Mavic 3 image quality is 30% better. The low light is 30% better. It is screaming fast, and it's got that cine mode that's an easy, quick switch on your remote, and like it's so slow and so smooth, you virtually can't have a bad shot. Like it won't move fast enough to not be usable. So if you flip it to that cine mode, you get to your spot and you want to do slow movements, you literally hold it all the way to the side, and it's just a slow, smooth pans. Or
You said it's quiet too, right?
Quieter.
Quieter.
And the flight time is unreal. Like I flew it forever the other day and looked down and still had 70% battery.
You did a night recovery with it, didn't you?
Yeah, we did a night recovery. And just used I was in 1600 ISO, and we used just a couple camera lights and the on-camera light and the drone light, and it's no noise at 1600 ISO. And that sport mode is scary fast, and it's about the size of the Mavic 2. It might be a hair bigger, but the battery time is forever, man. It says they tout like a 42 or 47 minute flight time. I mean, it flew forever. And I flew it a long way from camp, like sketchy far, and never dropped signal. So I like it a lot. And if you need to, and this is a shout out for somebody we don't even know, we crashed our Mavic 2, and we found a guy here in Duluth called Thunder Drones. Sent it, huh? In Dunwoody, whatever. I thought it was Duluth.
Dunwoody.
Whatever. Sent it to him, and I thought it was an unfixable drone. He fixed it for $300. Thunder Drones. So shout out to him. And questions. I think that's our next thing. Am I missing anything? Is there any new tech that y'all have that we haven't talked about?
We talked about the FX6, right?
We're going to do a whole podcast on the FX6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One terrible flaw on the FX6, freaking mic mounts.
Yeah, trash.
Terrible. Trash. Complete trash. Everything else, love. Mic mounts, trash.
Yeah, I don't have any no additional new tech.
Other than the FX6.
Yeah.
If iMac or a Mac will ever get their crap together, we're going to buy new computers.
I'm fixing to get the laptop. I'm tired of mine.
He's been saying that for 2 months.
I know. I'm a procrastinator. It's like $5,000.
Yeah.
Or $2,500. It's going to be like $2,500, $3,000.
Yeah, Nicole needs a new computer. I'm thinking about giving her this one and ordering me a new one.
No.
Why, you want the new computer?
I want the best one. I want the best one for a little bit of time.
Oh, my gosh.
Let him be the guinea pig.
He's that guy.
Let him be the guinea pig.
I'm not that guy, but I'm never that guy. I just want to be that guy. You're always that guy. You're always that guy.
What guy?
New mics, new iPhone.
Yeah, look at your
new
kit.
FX.
Look at
The first
Took a long time.
FX6.
You asked Chuck Belmore. We were the redheaded stepchild for years, and now that I can afford to get good stuff,
stepchild my entire life.
Well, now that I can afford to get good stuff, hey, my wife is on. Hey, babe. Now that I can afford to get good stuff, I'm gonna have good stuff. Y'all have good stuff. Y'all got way better stuff than I had. I don't want to hear y'all freaking complaining. Y'all had the FS7 for months before, or FX6 months before.
No,
I did.
you ran it in Florida.
One time.
Yeah,
Doesn't
you got
count.
to run it first.
Doesn't count. Y'all literally ran it for months before I had it.
I ran it for a month before he had it.
I just want one time for me to get the new thing, and Kayla would be like, "Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, I got there." Just one time, I want that. Because usually what happens is I think, like, when I got this new phone, I thought that I had, because I got the best phone that you could get at the time. And I came in the office, and Kay was like, "Yeah, I got that too. I got that on Friday. I got it on Saturday." So it wasn't even cool.
I still have a 10.
Wow.
You don't have a couch. Quiet.
Okay, so the next thing we're supposed to talk about
You don't get to talk about crap till you get a couch. Or at least a
24
love
core
seat.
M1 Max is fast and great battery life. 42 Pros. So the next thing we need to talk about is those questions, but guess where the questions are? On my phone that we're live streaming with. You know, the better phone than yours. So can you pull up those questions?
Where are they at?
They were on the questions that you sent on Instagram.
I don't have the screenshot of that.
So we're probably not going to get to do that.
Did you delete it? Go to your recently deleted.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. Hold on.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
We have to use the superior. We have to use the superior phone for things, and it's got all the good stuff on it. Ryer's doesn't. How long have we been on the podcast? 46 minutes. Oh man. Anybody listening have any questions while we're looking up questions?
So you're talking about just the ones that we did the other day with?
Yeah, the ones that you solicit.
Colin said, "What are your team/individual goals?"
I
want us to create something better than Blue Stem, so we can stop sending off Blue Stem to people.
do it. I don't care because I would be involved in that too. So that's
personal goal for me, and and the company, I guess, is I want to add one more. I would like to add one more big client this year. I'd love to do that. Something that's doesn't have to be in the hunting industry. I think we would even be open to something outside of that. I don't know what that is, but something that would challenge us even more. And then kind of a personal goal is to create 2 films this year. I have both. One of them's halfway done. The other one will be with Chuck Belmore.
Yeah, but that one, you can be able to put it anywhere?
Yes.
A YouTube.
Wherever we want. And of course, after Badlands, what I saw, yes, we can put it on Badlands. Yeah, they cussed all in Badlands.
Oh.
Oh, we're going this way?
Nicole said so. Do I get the
Okay.
laptop or not?
Oh, she was listening during that? Oh, man.
Talk yourself. Well, we might need to use that as like a dump computer.
Well, we've got that one downstairs.
Well, here's she could have my old laptop, and we could use, I don't know. She have that one that we use for the dump computer.
No. Get her a better computer than that. I'll take care of you, baby. I got you. Ryer's going to get hung out to dry on this one, not you, okay?
I would hope you'd hang me out to dry before her.
Well,
that's just the right
if
thing
you
to
ask
do.
her, she gets hung out to dry a lot, and y'all don't. You got them what? You got them this? You took them to do this? You do what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm taking care of them. She's like, well, my goodness, you need to. And she went on 7 trips last year.
Well, we're
7
I was going to say,
trips.
she went
We're
to
a
TAC and NFR. And
a business
Yeah.
expense. That's the difference.
I don't know. I used her for a business expense a couple times. Don't listen to that government. Couple times.
Hey, we cheated the United States Postal Service out of $2.
$2 whole today. Yes.
Hit us up with how to do that. It's a very underground trick. It's called mislabeling your self-labeled mail. Okay. So these are, if we did product reviews, what would you like to see us talk about? Those ones?
Oh, were those? That was it? It wasn't a question? I thought they were questions.
It was product reviews, but
okay. Well, maybe we didn't have any questions then.
I mean, there's questions built into those.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Not production related, but boots. Somebody want to know about boots.
So I talked to the guy at Hanwag at ATA show.
Hanwag.
Yeah, it's a boot company.
Mm-hmm.
Lane Walter's a really good buddy of theirs. And I talked to those guys and tried on some of their boots. I think they're about the only boot that I haven't tried. So I have on Schnee's right now. I like them, but I haven't really got to put any miles on them yet. My favorite's always been Solomon. The only problem with Solomon's is they don't last. I bought Crispies, hated them, gave them to Ryer. He loved them. And then I've also had Kenetrex. They were heavy and stiff. Didn't like them. I have a really wimpy foot though. So if you have a stiffer foot, and I have a really high arch, but we also have the sheep feet, and I'm really liking those so far. And y'all got sheep feet. Have y'all got to try yours out much?
No, I was gonna put them in that new pair of boots that I got, but I haven't done it yet because they ripped the heel. They ripped my heel off.
And then I've got, what other boots do I have? I've got a pair of Under Armour, just the BOA boots, and I love them, but they're just not gonna last.
I already broke the boa on those. And
Yeah.
then Tiff got them for me. I already broke the boa.
Yeah, so they're just not very rugged. I love the BOA system, but they're just not very rugged.
I had a pair of Laua leather boots that were very comfortable, but they were heavy, and I have very, 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 very sweaty feet. And when we were in Utah, Barklow was in camp and had on a very flamboyant pair of red and yellow boots, and I asked him what they were, and he said they were the best boot he's ever worn, so I went and bought them, and they're the best boot I've ever worn. They're the La Sportiva Equilibrium. It's Equilibrium, but La Sportiva is, I think, Spanish, so they put an A in front of it.
I've heard really good things about Los Portillo.
I love 'em.
I got the same pair of boots, and they
Are
ripped
they
my heel
stiff
off.
though?
Yeah.
Very stiff.
So the shank itself is stiff, but the fabric around your foot is not. So it fits like a sock, but you have support going uphill, if that makes sense.
What about ankle support?
Yeah, a little
That's
bit.
the one Barklow said he liked?
Yeah.
they're technically supposed to be like a hybrid mountaineering boot. You can put crampons and everything on them, so they'll have support.
Well, that's where I've always seen Las Sportivas is people with crampons and like hiking and like mountain, you know,
you can
going
tell
up
'cause they've
Everest.
got a
That's what they
they've
wore
got
in that.
Shelf on the heel so that you can strap crampons.
That's what everyone
onto
wore in 14 Peaks was Las
Yeah,
Sportivas.
and everybody that climbs Everest is wearing Las Sportivas. I don't know if I want any part of that.
I would climb Everest.
Yeah, but Barklow's way tougher than I am. Just gonna put that out there.
Barklow's tougher than most people.
Yeah,
Not
so
me.
one sitting up here with a gimped up knee on one elk hunt.
That happened in September, and I had surgery a week ago. I mean, come on now.
So okay, anything
Barklow
else?
wouldn't have gotten surgery. That's the difference.
Barklow would have done surgery on himself.
We got this one. This is really a whole podcast, but cameras and getting the best bang for your buck categories similar, like $1 sign, $2 signs, and $3 signs. I mean,
I got to.
it depends on how you define $1, $2, and $3 signs.
Yeah, that's
I mean, if we're
very
going
subjective.
$3 signs, I'm saying get you an Ari. But if you're going $1 sign, I would say
Get a red.
yeah, red.
Yeah,
I guess the $1 sign would be you could take that as
I'd say that's like a $2,500 and under will be $1 sign. But here's the thing. Here's why I hate answering that question. Is that dollar sign is a relative thing. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten the question, what camera should I buy? First question I ask is, what's your budget? And normally when I ask that, the top end of somebody's budget is $1,500. I can't help you. I'm sorry. I don't know of a camera system that you can buy a $1,500 camera and get a good support, a good tree arm, and microphones for $1,500. That doesn't exist. If you're going to do that, use your cell phone. I don't know of a way of doing it. So
you go with a 6500, right? Sony 6500 or a Canon.
Yeah, but
what
you're
are they
still
up
not
to 80 or 90D now.
But you're not getting a tripod ahead and a camera. arm and all that.
Yeah, see, but that's my thing is like a camera's only part of it.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't take into account.
Well, this question specifically was cameras.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't about the whole package. This one was just cameras. I mean, if you're going to go less than $1,500, you can look at, you're looking at any of the, what is it, a micro four thirds sensor cameras, basically, which is going to be your, I'm sorry, like the 6500s, Sony's 6500s, and then your, like the Canon 60, 70, 80D, I had Nikon kind of similar. I mean, all of those are going to be pretty much in the same range.
And then what's your your $2 signs is going to be up to what?
I guess that would be what, 15 to 3 to 4.
I'd say under 5,000. And if you're talking about under 5,000, get an R5. An R5 or a Sony, one of the new Sony mirrorlesses, with some lenses.
Frame.
Yeah, something full frame with lenses. You can't go wrong with any of the new Sony full frames or an R5. And then if you're doing $3 signs in our industry, it's the FX6. I don't see how you can beat that camera. I did a side-by-side comparison with, what's the camera that Thomas is running?
A7S3.
It's better than low light.
The only way to do better than the FX6 is to get an FX9 so you can have cache record.
Yeah.
But the FX9 is
like $9,000.
$9,000.
Yeah, and twice the size.
Yeah.
And I think with firmware updates, eventually it'll get cache record, I hope. But, I don't see how you can beat that FX6. And I'm sure next year they'll come out with something better. But
I mean, if you're really a Canon,
what is which I say that every year, like how can it get better?
Well, you think about it. How many new cameras did Sony come out with in the FS7 line since you bought the FS7? Not that many.
Yeah, nothing really.
So,
if you're a Canon guy, you could go with the
C70.
C70, but they've also got the C500. 500 now they're up to.
Mark 17.
Yeah. That would be the kind of the FX6-ish equivalent.
Yeah. But that FX6, man, the form factor, how light it is, and the low light for what we do is about unbeatable. We're going to do a whole podcast about it. So
I would say a piece of new tech that we missed would be those Tamron lenses. Other than not having image stabilization.
I just feel like they're just a little bit too short.
Well,
He said 42 Pro said cash record is in the new firmware. We will be updating firmware immediately.
I was just looking. I saw a couple days ago that they had started talking about the release, and they didn't have a full feature set yet. So I was waiting for the full feature set.
I would agree.
Nice.
I would agree with you if we weren't filming Lee and Tiff in 4K.
So hold on.
The 200 millimeter being too short.
It is too short to me looking in my camera. Just I was filming in the tree stand the other night at deer at 40 yards. And I'm like, God, I want more lens.
Yeah.
I don't have enough lens.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I looked at
Ryer used that 28 to 300 of Joel's.
Wasn't it 28 to 400?
Oh, 400.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I have the same gripe with it as I have with the
the zoom ring.
Well, the polling focus is not smooth. It's not a consistent focus pull, so you can't get like a smooth focus pull in and out, and the ring is so flimsy that you can't really grab onto it like you can
Well, here's the other option: is Sony has a 24 to 240. It's $1,000. Thought about getting one of those and seeing how we liked it, and if we liked it, sell the Tamrons and get that.
Yeah,
Is it the same kind of thing? Does it have image stabilization?
I think it does. Yeah.
That's the that's the the focus ring gripe to me is the secondary issue. The primary issue I have with that 18 to 200 is the lack of image stabilization, especially if you're going to run handheld. I didn't realize how much it helped to have it until I didn't have it.
I just edited those 2 Redneck Tech videos that we did in Iowa, and I mean we're standing 10 feet apart from each other, so we're not even like zoomed in pretty tight, and I had to put warp stabilizer on them. Just literally stand there hand holding them, and
yeah,
I had to put warp stabilizer on.
Optical steady shot image stabilization. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that would be
because technically we would have 4 to sell because we could get that broken one we have fixed and have all three of our Tamrons.
We have 4 Tamrons. There's one on the one.
Okay, we'll have 4 Tamrons plus the one we could get fixed and sell it. Or if you could get that from somewhere that does trade-in, we could just trade in all 4 and not have to worry about selling them.
Yeah, it's $1,000, $1,048.
Is it white?
Black. And the focus ring's in the same spot. The zoom ring's in the same spot.
It's a 28 to 240.
It's a 24 to 240, but it's an f3.5 to 6.3, not a 2.8. So you do lose a stop a lot.
Yeah, but you're losing that 2.8.
Yeah,
you punch in almost any, you're losing the 2.8.
Yeah, on that other camera,
you're basically going to be at 18.
When you get to 35 millimeters, or no, sorry, when it's 18 to 200. When you get to 24 millimeters, it goes to 3.5. So at that point, I mean,
Yeah, I've seriously debated ordering one of these just to. And it's a 72 millimeter optic on the front, not a 68.
A lot of times with that being a 5...
That'll probably help a little bit with the light.
Yeah, with that being a 5.6, I almost left my aperture at 5.6 all the time. That way when I would zoom in, I wouldn't have to mess with exposure.
Yeah.
So.
And when you're zoomed in all the way, but I mean, one stop of light on that FX6, you're not even going to notice that. You know?
Only at the very, 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 very last.
I feel very comfortable filming a kill up to 16,000 on that camera. Doing because I mean, Lee would have me get footage of, like up and coming deer that we weren't going to shoot super late, and I mean, I'm like, dude, it's pretty dark. He's like, oh no, I don't care about the show. Like, I just want to see it on the TV at home. So I would make a mental note, and 16,000 to 28,000 is I think where it goes next, and there's a giant jump there, but 16,000 looks clean.
And another thing is 24 versus 28 millimeters.
Big difference.
I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is.
It's a big difference.
So
especially when you're in a ground blind.
It's something that I've been thinking about that. I mean, those Tamron lenses are $700, and this one's $1,000. It's $300 difference, but that's the one gripe that we've had.
40 millimeters and stabilization.
Mm-hmm.
So really, for $300, that's not bad.
Yeah. So, yeah, it might be something that we do is just order a couple of these and go from there. But I'll watch the video on it once we're done with this podcast. But we got any Tamron 35 to 150 f2 to 2.8 is a sweet lens. 42 Pros. But yeah, thank you for that on the cash recording. I haven't checked into that, but we'll be definitely
When we
updating.
get downstairs.
That's what we're gonna be doing next. But got anything else? Any other questions? Anything?
Quality sticks and tripod head. I know
That also depends on your budget.
Most of our sticks are Miller and our heads are Sackler.
Oh, his aren't.
No.
What's yours?
My sticks are made by, it's like Art Link or something like that. If you find me on Instagram, I'll send you the Amazon link. But it's like $199 pair of sticks. But with my tripod head on my sticks, they'll go up to my head height.
I've thought about.
Those are the same ones that you bought the extra
I
stuff
love
for.
my head and sticks, but man, they're just so much overkill for that FX6.
They're pretty overkill for the FX6. My Sackler head I think is pretty. I think it's pretty well suited to the FX6 bare bones.
Yeah, I thought about.
The thing is with that, if you start rigging the FX6 and like putting a 150 to 600 on there, your head would be better suited for that.
With the 28 to 200 on my head, it's fine. Anytime I put the 70 to 200 on, it's too much.
Yeah.
Because my 70 to 200 to 28, so it's the bigger one.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I put that on, it's too much.
And I would always like if I was gonna go buy sticks, I wouldn't buy sticks that were set up for my camera at bare bones or what I usually run it for.
Yeah.
I would buy it to have it like rigged with a long lens and a cage and rails and an extra monitor, because just
you might do that.
It's better to get it overkill and use less than to have a pair of sticks and a fluid head that is not supportive of all the weight that you have on there, because then you're just going to get bad footage.
So, anything else?
But anyways, a head, you want a good fluid head. Sackler makes them.
Yeah, Sackler's
Manfrotto
expensive.
makes 'em.
It just depends on how much money you want to spend.
I've seen some people running Benro.
That's
Mhm.
what
Those ones
that's what
work.
mine is.
The head, I would say, is probably the more important in the equation.
Yep.
Sticks, I mean, you just kind of have to decide how heavy you want them,
Yeah.
how sturdy you need them, and your closure mechanism. I wouldn't recommend snaps, because in this industry, you might need to open and close with animals pretty close to you, so snaps can tend to make a loud popping noise.
And they break on airplanes. Trust me, had it happen to me.
Yep. So usually we use a kind of the screw enclosure or a
Keep
screw.
them clean, otherwise they squeak, and mine are squeaking
Yeah.
really bad right now.
Yep. But I would say if you had to spend more money on one of the two things, spend more money on a good fluid head with the ability to balance the fluid head and settings for the resistance on the fluid head and locking, obviously, and the panning and tilting and stuff.
Something that it's buy once, cry once, though. Like, don't cheap out on them, man.
Yeah, I've had the head that I have on the sticks right now, Mark bought before I worked for him.
Mm-hmm.
So that head has been in use for over 10 plus years.
Yeah.
In hunting environments.
Mine has been in service for 7 or 8, and it has been beat and drug and thrown in the back of Rangers and trucks, and that tripod and head are more well traveled than most people. And knock on wood, never had an issue.
Except that one time you let Ryer use it.
Except for the one time I let Ryer use it.
$78 screw, player.
$78 screw, yeah.
I didn't break it. It was on its last leg after 10 plus years of service.
You can't prove anything. So anyway, all right, next.
Somebody wanted us to do a review on the Sony A1. No, we don't have one.
Don't have one of those.
I don't even know anybody with one.
I don't either.
I want one.
Well, Clay can buy
Clay
it
will buy one and then talk to you about it.
after he buys his couch. So we've got a review on mics. You talked about the Rhodes. I run the Sonys.
He's got to be difficult.
We won't go into that. I know you're baiting me on that one. Let's see. Secondary cameras. Big Osmo people.
DJI, man. GoPros suck. Still stand by that.
Editing softwares. Premiere.
Adobe Premiere.
Websites for music, sound effects, etc. We use a lot of Artlist for music. We also have subscriptions to Soundstripe and Epidemic Sound.
Envato.
And Vato.
and Envato. I use Envato more for sound effects, and I use the other ones more for music. You can also use Music Bed. It's going to be more expensive, but
Way more
better
expensive.
quality. It's kind of, we use that for one-offs.
YouTube also has its own
Yeah,
free
the
music
YouTube audio library.
But
You can
there's so many music libraries. Just depends on what your budget is.
And they're all going to be, what is it, like a couple hundred
Mm-hmm.
to subscribe. Most of them are on a subscription model now. Pond 5 is one that you can use if you just want to go like get one song.
Yeah, Extreme Music. There's Stephen Arnold. There's Sonic Librarian. There's so many.
Okay, so
FirstCom's a really big one. It's expensive, but it's a big one.
all-in-one lens, that would be our 18 to 200.
Or it's a 28 to 200 is what we're using right now, but that's what we were just talking about.
Is it I thought it was an
No,
18.
it's a 28. Yours is the 18 to 300 or 400, whichever one Joel used.
Oh, I got those two mixed up. I got you. Okay.
So, but we're looking to possibly switch that to 24 to 240 Sony.
Okay, pick your two favorite lenses then.
24 to 105 and 7200.
Canon?
Yeah.
16,
No, 16 to 35. Yeah.
1635, 70 to 200.
Yeah, that's probably
Mine
my
are
favorite.
Tamrons, though.
I would go this year. I've been using the 24 to 105 and the 70 to 200 more than anything.
I have to say that too because I use the 24 to 105 more than any of them.
I don't even have one.
It's the most versatile lens. I use it for almost everything.
Well, I have that Sony 18 to 105, I guess.
Yeah. So
Top 4
top 4.
lenses.
We really only use 4.
I only
So
use 3.
16 to 35, 70 to 200, 24 to 105. And I guess what would be our all-around lens is either going to be that 28 to 200, the 24 to 240.
Yeah, but that I see. I don't really count that because that never comes off my video camera.
Yeah.
Like ever.
Talking about photos, well, then
Yeah.
that 150 to 600 is hard to beat. That's a freaking cool lens.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was going to, like if I'm bringing 4 lenses, it's because I have a project where I can switch lenses. So I'm going to be running my Canon glass probably. So that's your 24 to 105 most of the time, 16 to 35 very occasionally, 70 to 200 would be the second most used, and then 150 to 600 for
I got to say,
shots.
though, it is super nice to not have to worry about switching lenses. I love having one lens that can do everything I need to do on a hunt. Gosh, it makes it so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Decent long lens, 200 millimeter plus-ish. That's your 150 to 600.
Yep.
And that's a Sigma.
Yep.
So we've
Canon
Add
also
to
makes a 100 to 500.
Somebody makes a 100 to 400.
Sony, Canon.
Yeah.
I think Sony makes a 100 to 400, but they have one of those push zoom ones. Don't get a push zoom. Those are
For the money, that 150 to 600 is hard to beat. It is a bazooka,
That's
man.
what you used in Alberta.
Yeah, that's what you
Right.
use in Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I use in Alberta.
I was saying for the audience.
Oh. Yeah, those are all those questions.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right, well, the last thing I wanted to talk about is classes. So we have the editing class coming up February 4th to the 6th. It will be here in 2 weeks. We still have some slots open for that. Right now we have 5 guys signed up for it. I was going to say we could do 10 guys. So we still have plenty of room available. I know it's definitely more expensive than our standard class, but it's also, editing's where you make your money. So if it's something that you're interested in doing and stepping up your editing game, I promise it's for beginners all the way to advanced guys. I'm probably going to be taking the beginners. Clay's going to be working with the middle, the kind of the novice amateur guys, and then Ryer's going to be working with more of the advanced editors. And, we're going to walk through every step of the process. It is going to be virtually a one-on-one, two-on-one type class. So you're going to have one-on-one instruction for 3 days. If you or anybody you know is interested, tell them to contact us, rednecktechpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll get them signed up. It's $1,500, and if nothing else, it's a great networking opportunity. You can ask anybody who's been to any of our classes. It's a really, really good time, and we enjoy the heck out of it too. So it'll be a fun one. I can promise you that. You'll learn a ton. If you don't learn a ton, tell me, and I'll give you every dime back. But I guarantee you'll learn. So with that being said, we are going to plan another production class. This is going to be a field production class. Field production really mainly. We might do a little editing there. but it'll be mainly field production. But we've been asked for years, can we do a class on a hunt? And we've really never been able to do it. So we do have a location in Texas where we're going to do a turkey hunt in April, where we're also going to do a class in conjunction with this hunt. I haven't figured out how much it's going to be, and I haven't figured out the date yet, but it's going to be in April. So if it's something you're interested in, and the thing is, we're not going to be able to do like probably 8-ish, 10-ish people, just because we'd only have so much room for people to stay, because their lodging will be provided, and then and I got to figure out if that includes hunting or not. So
who's going to be the hunting?
We don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. So we're going to do that class. It's probably going to be at least $1,500, if not more, because it's in Texas and we have to pay for the location and things like that. So, but we are going to do that. So keep that in the back of your mind. I'm going to be working on that next 2 weeks and figure out when and the location. We have the location, but like when we're going to do it, because we already have a trip with Lee and Tiffany out there, and we have another shoot with Colin, who's been on the Instagram today. He's actually the one helping me line this out. He's got the location, so we're going to try and essentially we'll be doing 3 trips back to back to back, but they'll all be in South Texas, so we won't have to leave.
What's the other one?
Colin's
no, Lee and Tiff, and then
this class, and then high caliber hunts with Colin.
Oh.
So we'll have 3 trips back to back to back there, and then so that'll be mid to late March probably. No, I mean April, mid to late April. Is when we'll be doing that. And then, and then we'll probably do another one in the summer. So that's the plan. Y'all got anything else?
If we need a hunter for that, I need a Rio to fill my slam if anyone wants to help a guy out. So,
well, we'll see. We'll see. We're going to see. I mean, I assume that we would probably do most of the hunting, because I don't know how we would do it if we're going to. I hadn't figured that part out.
If we bring in hunters, that takes away beds for the people doing the class.
Yeah,
so.
But, I mean, kind of want Chuck in camp. So
Chuck can come and pay his own way.
Yes, I like that. So we'll figure that
Chuck
part out.
really should be paying us when he hangs out with us.
He really should. He really should. All the good times we've had. So anybody got anything else? Nothing else?
Your mom's on.
My mother?
Mm-hmm.
What? Come on, Mom. You're killing me. Is that it? Nothing? We're good?
Does anybody have questions? We'll hang out for like
we're gonna end the podcast up. We'll hang around for just a few minutes. All right, guys. Peace. All right, podcast is done. I can't take that out until that's done. That lens has been tempting me too. Oh, this 100 to 400.
I want a 100 400 really bad.
Yeah. Devin just said he got the 100 to 400.
42 Pros just sent me to my direct messages, slid up in the DMs.
DMs.
This setup for a Rode wireless boom mic. So they basically have, it looks like a Rode shotgun mic hooked up to the transmitter, the mic transmitter.
Oh, so they want you to buy another microphone. Of course they do.
But, I mean, that's a pretty dirty little solution to not have to have a cord run to it.
Yeah, it is.
Like, if you're going to do it.
And then have a guy hold an audio recorder or something. And we don't use.
Or you just run it back straight to the camera. You just run it straight to the camera.
We don't. I mean, we've only run boom mics the one time.
Yeah, because they're such a pain in the butt. That's why we don't.
Yeah, but if you really want some super good audio on location, that's a really great way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why
I was just saying
that's why productions do it.
We'll
just
find
takes
out.
Another dude.
Yeah, find out what we got to order to get that.
I thought you told Nicole we weren't buying anything this year.
Shut up. We've already got a boom pole. We've already got
boom poles, boom sticks.
Well, we have another shotgun mic that we can just put in the boom pole, XLR out with a 3.5, and then just run it to that.
Yeah, we might have a setup that we can already do it with. We just need to figure out if that's all we need. These chairs suck. I'm so uncomfortable in this chair. Are y'all uncomfortable in this chair?
Not really.
No.
No. Maybe I'm just fat.
I mean, we could get like some nice recliners
Or a couch.
We could do a couch in here. That would be
You could do a
pretty.
sectional in here.
That would be pretty chill.
I don't know how
How
we
we
get
gonna
it
get it up
I
there?
don't know how we get. I don't know how we get a couch up the steps.
I'll be hurt for that.
You're already hurt. You're always hurt.
Always hurt.
No more questions.
Give it another minute. We got people hopping on and stuff, stuffing
Did
things.
my mother really jump on here?
Yeah, CC Copeland. Everyone hit her up with a follow.
Where? I don't see it.
It's you wouldn't have seen it because I had to go to my DMs.
Right here.
Killing me. Oh yeah. She's not gonna comment. She's probably embarrassed. Can you use the Sony post stabilization if the IS is turned on?
He's talking about it in Catalyst Browse.
I don't know.
Yes, I imagine so.
I mean, I would assume, but I don't know the answer.
I don't know.
I've
I don't
tried
know if
to
they
use
would.
it.
I don't know if they would fight with each other. But what the Catalyst browser is doing is actually referencing basically gyroscopic camera positioning data to counteract that digitally within the frame. So I would imagine that if you still have shake.
Mom just commented, best follower ever.
Best landlord ever.
Best landlord ever. Oh yeah.
I would think that you probably can still use the Catalyst Browse Sony stabilization. Just like with any digital stabilization, results will vary. Sometimes it'll work really nice. Sometimes it'll give you a weird, wonky kind of shifty thing. But usually, if you want to, the best thing to do is get it as stable as possible in the field and use your stabilization as a last resort. If you can get it, the more stable you can get it in camera, the easier post-processing that stabilization is going to be.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't turn off image stabilization in order to use digital stabilization in post.
Well, you can't turn it on in the camera unless the lens has it.
Well, a lot of lenses, if they have it on the lens. Like the
You can turn
150
IS
to
on
600 has
Right.
the IS on it.
Oh, I thought he meant in the body.
I thought he might have been in the body. I
Because
don't
like
know.
you can't, because what Sony calls it in the body of the camera is steady shot, and you can't turn on steady shot unless
the lens has IS.
Correct.
Lane is saying, I thought I had read that you could not, so that would make the need for it a mute point. I don't know. I guess I've never really looked into it.
I'm still trying to figure out what exactly he's asking. He's
So
asking
if
about
you
steady shot, or he's asking about Catalyst Browse.
So he's asking if you use.
Because I kind of want to order one of those lenses just to test it out before we.
Can
order
you
3 of
use
them.
the Sony post stabilization? So he's talking about what's in Catalyst Browse. He's asking if it will work if it's already stabilized from the lens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't see why
yeah.
you couldn't.
It'd be like putting warp stabilizer on something that's already like on a tripod.
Lane's saying maybe it doesn't. So maybe there is some kind of protocol within the file where if the camera knows that it's getting a stabilized image from the lens, it may disable the tracking or it may put something in there.
I don't see how that would.
You don't see that, but some camera companies do weird stuff like that.
Yeah,
Even
Probably some licensing for that technology or some crap.
Even if the Catalyst
COVID.
Browse stabilization won't work,
Obama.
Adobe's Warp Stabilizer would work on it too.
Right.
So you've got that option as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I haven't ever really. We don't do a whole lot of stabilization within Catalyst, honestly.
I tried it once. I took the same clip and did it in Catalyst Browse and did it in Premiere, and I saw no difference.
Yeah.
None.
Like nothing that would make me want to go in and go through hassling with it in Catalyst Browse versus just putting warp stabilizer on it
Yeah, you would have to stabilize it.
and then send to Premiere from Catalyst
I need to get
Browse.
Lane. I need to get Lane in here to
podcast.
do a podcast show.
Haven't you had him on?
Have
before?
You need to
Yeah.
over the phone. I'm kind of done overdoing over the phone. I want people in here.
we need to get Tom.
We're gonna go big
We
time.
need to get Thomas on another one.
Yeah.
Because he did the one when he came and hung out with us, and do one now.
Have you guys used Isotope for audio cleaning?
Isotope.
Isotope.
I know. I've not.
No, we have not.
We could use it on that BC hunt.
Yeah, if there's audio.
That's funny.
Lane said, "Let's do it again."
Well, problem is, Lane, I got to get you here. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
doing it on the phone's cool and all, but
We might need to still start doing some.
I think we still need to do phone ones.
RX9 is sweet.
Sony RX9.
Sony's got an R now?
They've had it. It's like a point and shoot.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what guys out west use for digiscoping. So instead of phone scoping they make a mount that you can put like a small point and shoot on the back. And that's what a lot of guys will use because it's literally like this big, but because it's a point and shoot and the lens is fixed and when it zooms,
Yeah.
the lens doesn't move, so they can keep it sucked up to the eyepiece and zoom in like a 20 times plus whatever's on the. Yeah.
Dude, if they're that far. That's way too far. We're going to need to get closer somehow.
That's like when you were talking about you did the mathematical calculation for like in 4K plus the 600 millimeters.
Yeah.
And the camera, the deer still looks like an ant. It's like you would need like a 16,000 millimeter lens.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been on enough mule deer hunts to even develop the eye for what to see. Like you have to know what you're looking for in this mass expanse of space. And dudes who have been doing it for a long time know exactly what they're looking for. So they could be like, "Oh yeah, there's a deer over there." I'm like,
right. Cool. I'll just take your word
sure.
for it.
I hope there is.
I hope there is.
Because like I don't have the eye and my eyesight isn't great, so I just can't see that far. I'd love to. I really would like to. Did I want to spend 30 days in a truck where I just had to believe people that there's deer out there? Yeah, I'd like to have been able to see them, but it is what it is.
Nothing else? We good?
Let's go update our cameras.
Yeah, I'm kind of down for that.
I got to show you all
mine's
the
at
thing.
home. Mine's at home.
Yeah, you need to bring that back in because I could have used it the other day
Where's yours?
when I was shooting the precision lighting stuff.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was here, and then I got here, and
So we can have nice
dude
things.
was already here, and
Sorry.
you were in surgery, so I couldn't like text you and be like, "Hey, where's your stuff?"
Hey,
So
get off that hospital bed and bring me your camera.
where's your freaking stuff, bro?
Might be
Because I
fine.
could have double shot it with two FX6s, would have been freaking nice.
My bad.
But I had to use my 5D Mark IV. Which actually turned out well, and they matched well after the fact. I did a little bit of extra work trying to match the color spaces, and they looked really nice.
Did you save that so you can have it again?
No, because it wouldn't really. It wouldn't be. It's not a 1-to-1 match because it would, lighting and stuff is different. I mean, if you did it color card to color card, then yeah, you could save something like that. But hopefully, I won't have to do that very
Do we
much.
own a color card?
No, I need to Amazon one. So I want to start using one.
Amazon one.
Yeah. A color card with a white and gray and all the colors. Because if you were to use that before every shoot.
I want to get a clapper too, just so we have one.
Yeah, so
I just want to be that.
There's an app on your phone that'll do that.
No,
So-
not the same.
So
Not the same.
I actually, this is what happens every time I do a multi-camera shoot with a lot of takes, like a product videos and stuff. I never think of this while I'm doing it, and then I get into editing where I have to sync the multi-camera clips, and I'm like, oh, I should have just been writing the takes down or something. And this time, I thought of it after the first take, and so I just went and stole a bunch of white pieces of paper, and I would write like what video it was and what take it was on, and put it in front of both cameras beforehand, which helps a lot if you're shooting with two big cameras, you can match them up mathematically because you'll have the same number of clips. What I've had happen before, especially with consumer DSLRs, is basically due to taxation or import. There's some kind of, the reason that a DSLR splits its videos into like 4 or 5 minute sections is not a technical problem. It's the camera companies trying to get around some sort of tax law or import law or something, because the tax or import on a video camera is more than a picture camera. So on some of the cheaper cameras, if you were to take like a 30-minute clip, it will split that clip up into 5 smaller clips. And so when you're doing a multi-camera and you are got one big camera that doesn't split the clip and a DSLR that is splitting the clip, syncing them could be a pain in the butt. So if you had a slate or a marker at the beginning of the clip on both cameras, then you would know that all the clips between that slate and the next slate are from that take, so it makes it a little bit easier to match up.
Yeah.
VAT tax from Europe, yeah. Yeah, they're taxed differently, so if you've ever wondered why your DSLR splits long clips into smaller clips, that's why. You can thank taxes. So that was off into the weeds, but
Yeah.
Caleb wasn't even listening.
I wasn't. I was talking to Dudley. He finally got his Christmas present.
Oh, nice.
Finally. Look at it. It turned out really good.
Oh, yeah, that's very cool.
So that's the freaking original.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What
man.
does it say? Knock.
Yeah, knock on deer hunt rut on. It's an original painting.
That's
Freaking-
cool.
Lee and
It's
Tiff
really-
get theirs in it?
It's supposed to be there today.
What is theirs?
Theirs is
What deer that he killed?
Dagger, his biggest deer, that 220 whatever,
Where'd you get the picture?
off of Facebook.
Oh,
I'm sure Dud likes that. Dud likes
He liked it.
abstract
Yeah.
stuff.
Dud likes artsy
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, he recognized the picture as soon as he got it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got to save that to my
Was
phone.
that the picture from?
It's one of the pictures I took in South Dakota.
Mhm.
It's a deer that we killed in South Dakota.
Is that the
and I
one
took
y'all
the
did
picture.
on y'all started standing in that tall grass where you used that Rage Extreme for the first time?
That's not the same. No, same place, not the same deer.
Oh,
Yeah, the same place. That was actually the next year.
oh. Not me having a photographic memory.
All right, is that it? We're good?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Deuces. All right, I'm going to end this sucker.